So today we're going to discuss the 5 possible trade options for the Golden State Warriors in the 2020 NBA Draft with their number 2 overall pick. So before we get into the first trade option for the Warriors, make sure to subscribe if you're new, like this video. Now let's just get right into trade number 1. So the first trade option for the Warriors would be to trade for Joel Embiid. So this definitely isn't a mock trade video, so I'll still tell you what type of trade you should expect from the Warriors to the 76ers to possibly acquire Joel Embiid if he becomes available in the trade market. So the trade offer from the Warriors could probably be along the lines of like an Andrew Wiggins to make the salaries obviously work, and the number 2 overall pick obviously for the Sixers to get like a James Wiseman as a younger replacement of Joel Embiid that wasn't really injury prone like Embiid has been recently, as well as the 2021 pick from the Minnesota Timberwolves that they acquired in the D'Lo trade obviously. So that's still pretty valuable because the Timberwolves weren't really good last year and you never know if they'll be good or not this year, so it's likely still a valuable pick for the 76ers, as well as some other first round picks probably to be included in the trade because it is for Joel Embiid. So probably for some more first round picks, so probably another 1 or 2 first round picks from the Golden State Warriors to make the trade actually work. But now without further ado, let's hop into trade option number 2. Number 2, trade for Bradley Beal. So I like this idea for both teams, but do the Wizards actually trade Beal? Reports obviously came out recently that the Wizards would not want to do any trade with Bradley Beal in the 2020 NBA offseason. So I don't think this would happen, but this is just a scenario. But if Washington somehow wants to trade Bradley Beal, maybe he requests a trade or something like that, then this would be an option, a realistic option. This is right now not really realistic, but if the Washington Wizards are at least willing to listen at the offer, might be more realistic soon. So obviously can't rule it out yet, but it's definitely not into the main consideration. For the Warriors, they would probably want to do this trade a lot because obviously Bradley Beal is a great player, great all-star player, you know what I'm saying? He's a great superstar type of player, and to add him with Klay and Steph, that would definitely be good. I like the fit because having a trio of Steph, Klay, and Bradley Beal is just great on the offensive side and on the defensive side because Klay brings that good defense as well as a little bit of obviously Bradley Beal. So will some type of trade like that get done? Probably not, but you never know. If Bradley Beal requests a trade, that is definitely a possibility for the Warriors. I'm sure they will reach out to the Wizards, and if the Wizards answer or not, that's up to them, but I'm sure the Warriors will try to ask for this superstar trade from the Washington Wizards, but we'll see what happens. But now let's hop into trade option number 3. So number 3 is to trade for Aaron Gordon. So this is definitely least likely to happen probably, or one of the least likely options to happen out of all these 5, because for Aaron Gordon, obviously Aaron Gordon is a nice player, obviously athletic and explosive, can play well defense, can obviously play good offense, but I don't think they would actually trade the number 2 pick for Aaron Gordon. I think that's just too valuable for them. I think they could definitely pull it off for a star. The question is which star, obviously, but Aaron Gordon, it's an option because he's a good fit for the Warriors because obviously he's a small forward, and then having Steph, Klay, Aaron Gordon, Draymond, obviously, and probably like a Kevin Looney if they can't find a better center. But I think that's definitely a nice roster. I think that could definitely compete very well. So that's trade option number 3, and now let's get into the 4th one. So trade option number 4 will be to trade for Jrue Holiday. So I definitely like this trade for both teams, for the Warriors and for the Pelicans. So now let's just try to get into the Pelicans side of this. Obviously this is a perfect trade for the Pelicans because they receive a number 2 pick in the draft that can get them a LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, or James Wiseman. And obviously just to add up with the young core that they already have in Zion, imagine a lineup of Lonzo, LaMelo, or Lonzo, Anthony Edwards. You got Brandon Ingram there, Zion, Jackson Hayes, and those type of players. That's a really good lineup right there, like a really good young lineup that will really develop into a great team. in the future. So I really like that idea for the Pelicans to get even younger, and obviously I'll get rid of Drew Holiday's pretty large contract for them. I think that's a great idea, obviously. So I think for the Warriors, this is a great trade too, because they obviously don't need young players right now. They really want to compete with Steph and Clay for a few more years, obviously, at least. So I think trading for a veteran like Drew Holiday that could really play well on both sides of the court, and a well-respected player like Holiday would be a great idea for the Warriors, obviously, in their playoff chances and playoff hopes, and to go far in the playoffs. I think this is a great trade for them. Obviously, more likely to happen than the Aaron Gordon trade, because I definitely like the fit as well here. And adding more defense with Holiday's defense, with Clay's defense, with Draymond's defense is a great lineup, obviously. So I think that's a great idea for the Warriors and the Pelicans to make this trade for Drew Holiday happen. So the fifth and final trade option for the Warriors would be to trade down and remain in the 2020 NBA draft. So the reason that this is also an intriguing option for the Warriors is to not, if they won't obviously be able to trade for a star, if that stuff doesn't work, if all those star trades won't work, then trading down in the NBA draft, in the 2020 NBA draft, would definitely not be a bad option for them, because they're getting more assets. They're going to get more assets from the team that will trade up with them. And they're obviously going to trade down and still draft a pretty good player, like a Devin Vassell or a Denny Avdia or someone like that would really fit the team right away. I think a Vassell would be a good option, or like an Obi Toppin, as well as an Onyeka Okongwu. So I think that's a really good, those are some really good players that would fit on the Warriors. And obviously they're going to get more assets, like more picks, maybe more players. You never know what the team would offer them. So I think that's a good option, but that's obviously if the star trades will not work. That is the backup plan. If a good star trade that I mentioned would work, then obviously go for it, like a Karl Anthony Towns trade as well, Joel Embiid trade, Bradley Beal trade, Drew Holiday trade, and those trades if they would work, one of them would work, then obviously go for that first. But if that doesn't work, this is the backup plan to still get some more assets, and then anyways draft a good player. And as I've said, obviously to get more young assets or trade assets, or first round picks from the teams that want to trade up with the Golden State Warriors, obviously. So I think these are all 5. Let me know if you did like those trade options, obviously, for the Warriors, and which one you like best and which one you think is the most realistic one to happen. So comment it down below. It was KNYT here, and I'm out. Peace.